Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah. I'm a skincare nerd and I'm the founder of Naya. And welcome to my channel. We are about to take off on this Sunday morning and we're going to debunk some myths that are flying around in the skincare industry. We talk about beauty trends and we are going to deep dive into some of the most common beauty ingredients as well that are being used across the industry. If you never joined before, welcome to the party. I hope you will enjoy it. And if you have ever any question, just leave a comment below. And if this is tickling your fancy and you want to learn more about these things, then make sure you're going to subscribe to the channel. And we're going to be here every weekend on every Sunday talking about a different topic that is bubbling away in the beauty industry. But also let me know what you want to learn next. I'm here to share my knowledge, to empower you, to put you in charge in your own skin story success. But at the same time, I would love to hear what is on your mind, what is concerning you, what you're not clear about, and what you want to learn more about. Let's get started. So like I said, my name is Sarah, and today we're going to talk about retinol. So every comment I've read, questions I've seen, comments I'm getting from our customers as well, it is mind-boggling the amount of information, misinformation that is flying around in the industry about retinol. Today, we're going to debunk some of the most common retinol myths that I have come across. Are you ready? Personally, I've experienced actually the same. We are offering a retinol product. It's our Kakae plus A product. I can show you briefly here. This is our product that we're offering. And over 3 to 4 years ago, I approached a retailer to ask them to stock us. They shall not be named, but overall, they absolutely loved our products. They really enjoyed the products until they found out that we have a retinol product in our portfolio. Oh boy. She gave me a 15-minute rant on how dangerous this ingredient is, how dare I be using it in our products, and why I wouldn't use another ingredient like Retinol or something else like that, which is much more effective and much less harmful than retinol. So as you can imagine, we didn't get stocked, which is fine. But fast forward now, she's stocking multiple retinol-based products from all sorts of different brands. So she eventually did get educated that retinol is not that bad after all. You just need to be empowered and understand retinol, how it works, how to use it, and how you can best apply it into your skincare routine. I really don't like the fear-mongering that is happening in this beauty industry, and I really want you to be in charge and understanding the ingredient and how you can use it so you can incorporate it and you can make an empowered decision. So let's get started with myth number 1. Retinol thins out my skin. Retinol does not thin out your skin. Quite the opposite, actually. So where this myth is coming from, that a lot of people are thinking when they start to use retinol and then they start to flake, that this is sort of a sign of them thinning out, or that the skin is thinning out because they are flaking. People that make this statement are really not educated and they don't really understand that the skin is constantly producing new skin cells. So we are going through a skin cycle every 28 days. And if you would love to learn more about what a skin cycle is, hop over to our website, onto our blog, where you can read more. And I will also leave the link below so you can read and educate yourself more about that topic. However, this process of regenerating the skin cells and going through the skin cycles gets a little slower as we grow wiser. So it's not as quick anymore as it used to be. So it's sort of having a bit of a de-acceleration happening. It's really the process of the young cells coming up from the deep of the epidermis up to the surface that is slowing down. And that's where retinoids come in. It's a group of vitamin A ingredients. They can help for the skin cells to regenerate in a much more effective way. However, if you have not used retinol before and you're starting to use, it's absolutely normal that your skin feels drier. And the dryness of it can kind of cause the flakiness. But there are a lot of tricks around it, how to accommodate for that so you avoid that feeling of dryness. Your skin is actually, in fact, not getting thinner, it's just renewing itself. Retinol actually tickles the little fibroblasts that are lower down in your dermis, and these little cells are responsible for creating and secreting collagen. Retinol has also shown to produce then collagen by blocking actually an enzyme that is called collagenase, And collagenase is an enzyme that we have naturally in our body that is actually breaking down the collagen. And retinol has shown to block that enzyme from breaking down the collagen. And we want to reduce the breakdown of collagen at all costs. But let's move on to myth number 2. Number 2, retinoids are exfoliants. No, that is absolutely not true. Retinoids are not exfoliates. They are a completely different group of ingredients. There is the retinoids you have, and then there is the exfoliants you have. And there are 2 different ingredient groups. They have 2 different objectives, and they are functioning in a very different way. But why do people think that a retinoid is an exfoliant? People assume that a retinol is making them peel, and that's why they think it's an exfoliant, because they start to peel. But it's doing a very different thing. So what is the difference between an exfoliant and a retinol? So an exfoliant is dissolving the bond that 2 skin cells have. So they actually go poof, and they kind of dissolve that bond of the skin cells, so to release it, so that you get this baby soft skin after you apply like a chemical exfoliant onto the skin, and it's like super soft. So all the rough skin on your surface of your skin has been removed through that process. So retinoids work very different in that regards. They go into your skin and they regenerate, growing and accelerating the regeneration process of your new skin cells. So the process that I've explained earlier, that it's sort of like you're going through a 28 skin cycle, that retinol is regenerating and accelerating that process as well. Retinol is not making skin cells go poof in regards to like exfoliants, but rather what they do is really accelerating the regeneration process. So that leads me nicely into myth number 3. Myth number 3 is retinoids cannot be used with exfoliants. And I hear a lot about that, and you see it all over the place, that when you use a retinol and you combine it with an exfoliant, your face is getting burned off and it's melting away. So let me tell you something. I've been using exfoliants and retinols in the same day and same evening, and my face is still in place and hasn't melted away yet. Many of you think probably now, well, there's still time for this to happen. Yes, there is still time, but it won't be happening. It doesn't matter how often I will do it. My face will not melt away by combining these 2 very effective ingredients together. However, what I do say it, and I have to say it with a caveat, is that combining exfoliant with a retinoid is not for people that have sensitive skin. If you do have sensitive skin, yes, that you probably do not want to combine these 2 ingredients, and you want to alternate them. So you can apply like a skin cycling process. You can learn more about what skin cycling is and how that process works on our blog post. I will put the link as well again below. Skin cycling is just helping people with sensitive skin to really alternate the actives they're using, they're applying onto their skin. So if you are a veteran and you are really understanding your skin, you're comfortable with your skin, you know how it reacts, you know how it behaves, you know when to use what, you can absolutely combine these 2 ingredients, and you might even get a better result off the back of that. But if you're a novice, don't combine them, and maybe work your way up towards that, because after all, it's really about consistency. If you have a consistent skincare, and we want to avoid by all means skin inflammation, and that is really the golden rule. So if you're a novice to it, don't combine them. If you're a veteran and you understand your skin, you understand how it acts and behaves, then absolutely you can combine these 2 ingredients. So why do I say that it might work actually better, like if you combine these 2 ingredients? The reason why I'm saying this is, on the surface you have skin cells, and most of them are dead because they are being shed off in the process of regenerating skin cells. As your skin is generating new skin cells, the other older skin cells are getting pushed up from the epidermis upwards onto the surface, and then they are sitting there. So if you're then applying a chemical exfoliant, you are shedding away and removing all these dead skin cells that are not doing much anymore, and you get that baby soft feel on your skin. What happens then is you can then apply the retinoids, so the retinoids can act much faster and more effectively, because they don't have to go through that like surface area of these dead skin cells, but they can go straight away into that skin. That's why you might be able to see better results, because they don't have to work themselves through those dead skin cells that you naturally have on your skin. But honestly, don't sweat it. I mean, it's not worth getting skin inflammations. It's not worth it. So don't sweat it if you don't want to combine them. Just do skin cycling or alternate these two active ingredients. One night you do an exfoliant, the other night you do a retinol, and you'll be absolutely fine. And you will also get really good results, because consistency is the key here. So it's not like more intensity, faster, faster, faster. It's really about the consistency that you put in, the time you input and invest into your skincare routine. Myth number 4, mixing retinol with vitamin C. Yes. There is this myth that you're not allowed to, or you should not, allowed is a different thing, but you should not combine vitamin C with your retinols. Because then usually what happens is like this whole pH talk, because the vitamin C is a different pH than a retinol, and they can't work together because they're canceling each other out, and da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Actually, vitamin C and retinol can be combined. You don't have to use vitamin C in the morning and then retinol in the evening. You can combine these two ingredients. It's absolutely fine. You can combine them in the evening together. I think the key is about this is that you just understand what vitamin C are we talking about here. Like, what type of vitamin C is it? Vitamin C is a very generic term, and it can mean everything and nothing, and you really need to understand what vitamin C are we talking about. So it's really important that you always turn around the bottle and look at the INCI list, because from there you can understand what vitamin C it is. So when we're talking about vitamin C, is probably most of the time it's the L-ascorbic acid vitamin C, the active form, and it's the only active form. But brands need to simplify it, and that's what they do. They like, you need to use this in the morning and this in the evening. And really, it's not that easy, and we need to be a bit more specific around it when we hear this. So you need to start asking questions. You need to ask, okay, what vitamin C are you talking about here? What vitamin C are you using in your products? So you can make a better judgment call, and you can actually put yourself in the driving seat again and feel empowered about what you're applying onto your skin. So why did this myth start? It started because vitamin C, L-ascorbic acid, is a little bitch. It's very irritable, it's very volatile in comparison to a lot of the other vitamin C's that are out there that are much more stable. If you are combining then an irritating active ingredient with another like potentially irritative active ingredient, that can cause irritation. If you have sensitive skin, you do not want to kind of combine these two ingredients. And we are also not combining these two active ingredients in any of our products. The vitamin C that we are using in our products is SAP. It's a very stable, a very non-volatile ingredient. And you can easily combine that with the retinol in the evening routine. It has also anti-inflammatory properties. So it's actually a really nice combination, and you might potentially as well have better results, because you are combining a very active ingredient like retinol, combining it with an ingredient that also has sort of like soothing and anti-inflammatory ingredients. So this combination can be really a win-win combination. And I combine it in the evening, and my face hasn't melted off, as you can see. When someone says this, you really have to go and ask, number 1, what vitamin C are they talking about? Number 2 is, are they talking about sensitive skin? And then number 3 is, do they mean like L-ascorbic acid and like the active form of vitamin C and retinol in the same product? Which is highly unlikely, by the way. But what exactly do they talk about? Myth number 5. A lot of people want to start strong and wrong with like strong 2% of retinol. And that is a disaster in the making. If you have never used retinol before and you go straight to really strong and using like a very high dosage on your skin, it will have the chance of you having an inflammatory response. Don't run before you can walk. The key to success with retinol is very low dosage but steady. So slow and steady will win the race in that regards when it comes to retinol. You don't go from dating straight to the wedding altar and get married either. So it's the same with retinol. Like, the skin has to start to date retinol at a low intensity, and then the intensity over time increases. So you kind of give the chance to your skin to actually get to know retinol build up a tolerance, like, and then in that way you can kind of increase the dosage. But you don't have to increase the dosage. I mean, if you do a lower dosage, it's absolutely fine, because again, the key is consistency here, that you regularly use retinol in your skincare routine, and that will serve you long term and will help you to have healthy skin in the long term. So if you go high speed, too strong at the beginning, you will cause inflammations, and we want to avoid inflammation at all costs. That's really the golden rule here. So start with a low dosage, like start with 0.3%, and then work your way up to go to 0.5, you go to 1%, and then you can kind of explore combining it with retinol, etc., etc. But start slowly and give yourself time, and give your skin time to get used to that active ingredient. So as all retinols are also not equal, I'm predominantly referring this video to retinol. And when it comes to the newer retinols or the newer retinoids that are on the market, that's a whole different thing altogether. And the percentages again vary. So you see crazy percentages out there, but it's not always going to be the pure form. So the pure form to us is the retinol. That's what we're referring to as pure form. But there's a lot of different variations out there and esters out there, and they all come in different percentages. So if you will find this helpful, that I do a deep dive into the variety of different retinols that are out there, so you get a better understanding and you're being put in charge and you're getting empowered and building an understanding, just leave a comment below, let me know, and we're gonna get one made. So the biggest problem I see that people want to use it and they don't know how to use it. And if you have sensitive skin, what you can always do is like, and even if you haven't sensitive skin, if you're a novice to it and you want to start using it, what you do is you apply a serum first. Once you apply the serum, you create a natural buffer with your skincare, and then you apply the retinol. Or the other option is you're using like an oil-based retinol, like what we're using here, which is a lot more stable and less irritating because it comes encapsulated, and then it's a slower release, and that's why it's also very suitable for sensitive skin, or if you're an absolute novice to retinol, then you can absolutely use it as well. People are just notoriously impatient. They want to see like results tomorrow, and faster the better. And with retinol is just not that ingredient. You really have to go slowly and steady, because then in the long term it will really benefit you, and you will see the results of it, and you will see how healthy your skin will be. So slowly and steady will win the race. I can't say this enough. A final thought to wrap up this video. Retinol does make your skin sun sensitive because of the process of pushing like these new skin cells onto the surface, and then you have these new young skin cells. They haven't really built up a tolerance at all yet, sitting on the skin surface, and that's why it's so important that you have to wear like sunscreen to protect these young skin cells again from the harsh sun. So it's really non-negotiable that when you're using a retinol, the next day you are using a sunscreen. And it's also like, if you are living somewhere really nice and sunny, you are living in a hot climate, you are living near the equator, you can still use retinol. Just don't forget to use like sunscreen the next day. I hope you truly enjoyed this video. It was my first video that I made. If you have any thoughts, comments, feedback, please leave them below. If you have any questions, leave them below, and I will make sure to answer them in the next one. I wish you a fantastic Sunday, and I will see you soon. Bye.